Hey guys, I just want to do a really quick update on my cut. Basically ended up doing it for 5 weeks. And as far as weight loss, I got down to 212, so that was good. On my 6th week, I was having a really hard time for some reason. It just wasn't doing what I wanted it to. So I figured, well, if it wants to keep going up and down a couple pounds with water weight, so I'm at 214 now. I decided to go ahead and just start going back to my maintenance calories a few days ago, and I actually feel a lot better. It's really crazy how I got used to eating what I need to be eating for my maintenance calories, and the energy levels are so much better now. It's just really crazy how not eating enough will affect you. I mean, I was only eating an average of 1,600 to 1,700 calories a day, which is not as low as what I was eating before when I was in a heavy weight loss phase. Before I started working out and everything, I was eating 12 to 1,300 calories for so many years, you know. Um, when I lost that 100 pounds in 10 months, I was eating 12 to 1,300 calories. And then after my whole reverse dieting process with that coach and everything, I realized how much I really had starved myself that time. It was way less than what I needed to be doing for a calorie deficit, but it worked. So now I'm still trying to build muscle, trying to do body recomposition, but now that I have more energy, it definitely helps a lot eating more. So I can work out and not feel as tired. I don't have the, I gotta work out kind of. It's definitely one of those things that a lot of people say a lot of times discipline over motivation, because a lot of days you just aren't motivated and a lot of days you just don't feel like it and you just go do it, because my workouts are only like 30 minutes, sometimes 40 minutes, so it's really not that bad, and I'm only doing like 3 or 4 days a week. So what's 30 minutes out of my day, right? If it'll make me healthier and stronger and all that. So I did just do a thing I've been wanting to do for a while. I'll link it below. I'm going to make a video when I get the results back, but I'm constantly have the issue with, I know you guys probably hate me holding my camera. I'm sorry. It seems to be the only time I can do videos is on my lunch break. So, you guys know that I have a gluten allergy, so if I have an issue with, if I have one thing, it takes weeks for it to go away after I eat one thing with gluten in it, and I get the rash on my elbows, on my arms. I started having getting a rash everywhere. I've actually still got a little bit of some bumps on my forehead. It is almost that time of the month, so part of the breakout could be from that. But I don't normally get bumps up here. I'll get a couple around my chin, the hormonal stuff. And then I was getting random itchiness just everywhere after I'd had some gluten, and it's taken forever to go away. So I said, I want to do one of those tests where it checks to see what all you're allergic to. So I found the best deal online. It was like $58, and it's supposed to check you against 1,200 plus things to see what all you're allergic to. It actually showed an example of what the reports look like. So it tells you stuff that you're highly seriously allergic to, stuff that you're moderately allergic to, and just a little sensitive to. So I'm really excited to get that back. All I had to do was print the stuff out and put some of hairs in a Ziploc bag and mail it to them. So they should be getting it right about now, because I mailed it out on Thursday, and today is Thursday. So it's in Texas, I think it was. So if they don't have it yet, they should be getting it anytime now. And then it says it only takes 2 or 3 days, I think, after they get it to process it, and then they email you the link with your report or whatever. So I'm really excited to get the results back for that. I will go into depth on that when I get it back, because I know there's got to be more stuff out there that I'm sensitive to or allergic to, that cause me inflammation and breakouts and all kinds of things. So I already kind of feel it coming. As much as I hate it, it's probably going to say dairy, because when I was a kid, we used to have to get that lactated milk because regular milk messed with my stomach. So I don't have a lot of cheese and stuff like that, but when it comes to my coffee, my creamer does still have milk in it, even though it's a healthy creamer. It's that super creamer, but it does still have dairy in it. So I may have to go back to Silk. Has the heavy cream that's made out of almond milk, so I may have to go back to that. But I have stopped going to Starbucks because since I was trying to measure my dairy so accurately every time, that I have my creamer at home when I have coffee, but when I would go get a coffee a couple times a week, I was getting them to put half and half in it. But I got to the point the last probably month, I was getting my iced coffee and I was just getting iced coffee, no sweetener, light ice. So basically I'm just buying straight up coffee with a little bit of ice in it. And then I was coming back to work and using my sweetener and measuring out my heavy cream because I had an extra scale because I bought a nicer one for home and I brought the extra one to work. So I'm just measuring out my grams of my grams of heavy cream, half and half. Why am I saying heavy cream? Gosh, my brain, I'm telling you, it's a Thursday, but it feels like a Monday. It's been crazy this week. So I'd been bringing it back to work and then weighing out how much half and half I was putting in the coffee. And I was actually making a large or a Trenta iced coffee last me 2 to 3 days at lunch. So I was trying to save some money that way too. And then I realized, because we have 2 kitchens at our work. We have one on my end of the building, which most of the technicians use. So it's kind of meh, And then there's one on the other end of the building where most of the other office people use. And I noticed our owner bought a Keurig machine. I was like, hell yeah. Because whoever makes like pot coffee here, I tried it before and they put so much in there. It's so strong and it's just like, I can't drink it. It's horrible. I don't know how people drink. Because I even looked at how much like of the scoopable coffee grinds they were putting in it. And I'm like, holy cow, that's a lot of coffee. So I was like, I can't do that. But then I noticed about a week and a half ago that he had bought a Keurig and put in there. And I'm like, hell yeah. I'll start bringing my coffee pods and I'll bring my creamer to work. And then if I want a nice coffee at lunchtime, I'll make one. And then I don't have to worry about using the half and half. I don't have to worry about going to Starbucks and spending money there. So if I do have an occasional Starbucks, like my husband and I will sometimes get one on Saturday mornings when we go get groceries. Because our grocery store we get has like a breakfast bar. So we'll get some breakfast stuff and our iced coffee Saturday mornings when we go get groceries. So I'm officially down to like 20 cents on my Starbucks card. So I don't have any money on everybody without adding any more money to it. So next week is my birthday. On the 21st, I will be a whopping 46 years old. But I don't feel it. Some days I feel it, but I don't feel it. I don't act it and I don't feel it. But what is age anyway, right? So that's another thing. Next week on Thursday, they give you a free one on your birthday. So I'll go get a free one on my birthday, but I'll probably do the same thing. I'll probably just come back and use my half and half because I still have some left here. So anyway, that ramble was just to tell you how my results of my cut went. But in all actuality, it turned out really well considering it was my first time trying to lose some fat since reverse dieting and get my metabolism corrected and eating at maintenance for like 6 months. So I did really well because I started out at 219.5 and I got down to 212. It leveled back out at 214. I mean, so for 4 or 5 weeks, I lost 7.5 pounds. And even if you don't count the 2 pounds, you're still talking about 5.5 pounds. So, like a little over a pound or right at a pound a week, which is what is acceptable to be, not too much at one time kind of thing. So that's good, because I at this point, as long as I know that I can put my body in a deficit and it does continue to do what it's supposed to do, and then I go back to a maintenance and it does what it's supposed to do, that's good. That means my metabolism has, worked itself out. And I did find out that if you're doing a mini cut like that, you don't have to reverse diet back like I thought I was going to have to do, because you're still technically going to be in a deficit for a while that way. And you don't want to put your body into a deficit for too long by trying to reverse back. So you just go back to your maintenance calories. You might have a day or two of water weight gain until it levels back out, which is where I'm at right now. I think I was like 215 this morning. So again, I'm not worried about the number. I am worried about my health. I'm worried about continuing to build muscle, which the more muscle I have, the easier fat will come off easier it is to lose fat, and burn fat. So I'm continually working out. I'm changing up my workouts. It's about time, I think, next week to change up again. So I may go back to doing like 4 days a week, which is what I was doing when I started with the coach. I was doing like 4 days a week. Now that I'm back to maintenance calories, I want to get in there and try to build more muscle as best as I can. So I'm not going to do another cut for probably 6 months. I want to try to keep my maintenance calories at 6 months every time before I try cutting again. So at this point, it's February. We're going to say August. I'll do another cut right, sometime in August. Maybe August or September, I'll do a cut. So right now, I feel good because I'm eating my maintenance calories again. I did not take measurements. I don't know where my brain was, but I did not take measurements. I took some before pictures, and then I didn't never take any pictures when I was at like 212. I don't know where my brain was at. I wasn't that focused on it. I was just focused on, I'm going to be in a cut for a while. I'm going to do a deficit, try to lose some fat, and then I'll, go back to maintenance. And, this is just going to be a process for me and see where we're at. So my hair is getting really long. If you guys knew me from before, I had chopped all my hair off after I lost all this weight. And it was literally short. I had a pixie cut with like longer hair on top. And I loved it. And I always like it cut up shoulder length and straightened. Otherwise, once it gets right around shoulders and below shoulders, it's really, really annoying. And I don't do anything but put it up. And then like trying to go to sleep, there's hair everywhere. I told my husband, I'm like, I'm going to chop it off again. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Maybe I'll just cut it back up to above the shoulders and keep it straight. Because once I straighten it once, it's good for like all week. I only have to wash it once a week because it's so dry. So I'm either going to cut it to shoulder length, or I may go back to a shorter haircut than that. But I'm about 20 pounds heavier than I was at my smallest when I chopped it all off. So this is the one thing about me I wish I could fix that I can't. Well, I mean, there's not the one thing. There's more than that. But that's the one thing that drives me nuts. And when it comes to short hair, it has a lot to do with my face. So we'll see. We'll go from here. But I will update you guys when I get those results back on that allergy test. I'm very excited to see how that turns out. So I hope you guys are having a good day. I hope you're doing great and you're kicking ass and you're hitting your goals and you're getting your protein, you're getting your steps in, and you're doing what you got to do. And if you're not, it's okay. Get up and go. Get it going. You got it. It's a lifetime process, guys. It's not overnight. It's a lifetime journey. I just want to be healthy for myself and for my husband, for my family, to be able to be around for a while. So even though my scale may say I'm over 200 pounds, I may be healthier than somebody out there that's 150 and doesn't ever do anything. You can't gauge healthy off of looking at somebody. So anyway, get out there and get it done, guys. You can do it. Take care of yourself. Bye, guys.